Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about letting the old you die. So I know that can hit home for some of you guys. I know it personally hits home for me. When it comes to letting the old you die, I really do feel like it can be a very tumultuous time period, and it's so many mixed emotions with letting go an old version of you. It's like when you finally wake up and realize that this version of you that you've been operating out of no longer helps you succeed and grow, and that you must switch it up and upgrade into a new version of you. I know that task can seem so daunting to do and so scary. I know for me personally, it gave me a lot of anxiety to allow myself to be someone new, to allow myself to be someone different. And we don't know, like walking through life, we just don't know how much we cling to our identity and how we cling to certain things that just maybe does not serve us anymore and has an expiration date, but we keep holding on to it because either we're used to it and it just gives us a sense of peace and comfort, and when it's time for you to change that, it can be very hard to do. And change is hard. I was telling my therapist, I was like, I understand why most people don't change. I understand why they don't, because change is hard, but change is so necessary. And I know firsthand what change can do to your life and how life is all about change and transformation. And so I have been adopting the mindset of knowing that things are always going to change, and I have to be ready and willing to pivot whenever I need to, but to not worry that I'm going to always have what I need, and God is going to always equip me and protect me with everything that I need. So that has been what's been helping me with the anxiety of coming into this new version of myself, because there is a shedding process that goes on. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about this. When they talk about changing your identity, they don't really talk about, like, in depth what it's like to feel every single day that the old you is shedding. It's painful. You have to go through a grieving process, and it has been so painful for me. And it's also even more painful when people around you don't quite understand what's happening to you or what's going on in your life. It's also, it just makes the journey a lot more harder for you when you don't have a supportive environment. But I'm here to tell you that can be possible. I don't have the most supportive environment, but God has been keeping me and protecting me and letting me know that I'm here through this change. I'm here through this transformation. You don't have to be afraid anymore. And I used to be so afraid of developing a new life for myself. And this was up until recently. I've had to work through the fears and anxieties that comes with creating a new life. And I mean, for me personally, I don't know if it's as big of a change for you, but for me, it has been like a huge, like, this is one of the seasons in my life where it's a huge change. I mean, like a whole nother life change, because I have reached a dead end in the way that I was going. Sometimes you go a certain path in a certain way and you just find out that it's a dead end, and it's not going to get you what you want. It's not going to give you your desires, and you're not going to be happy. And as heartbreaking as that is, you have to pull away from that. When you pull away from that, you go through all the stages of grief, and it's a process, and it's hard to even process those type of emotions. And so what helps me is pulling on support. It used to be very hard for me to ask for help, but now I have been going to therapy, and I have been going to support groups, and those environments help me be able to process my emotions, get them out, and have someone supportive to listen to them. You know, it makes a world of a difference if you just have that one person to support you through this, because it is difficult. And so sometimes we find ourselves in a season where we are making a complete lifestyle change. And whether that's your health, whether that's your wealth, your family, your relationships, love, it can be a lot. And for me, the lifestyle change that I have been adopting is more peace. I just came from a season where there was a lot of emotional turmoil, a lot of disappointment, and a lot of grief. And so in this season, I want to adopt more peace. I want to adopt more balance in my life, which is something that I never had. But that came with me having to sacrifice. And I mean, I can create a video on sacrificing, because I know firsthand what sacrificing is, and having to break away from things that are killing you because you have to save yourself. And that's another thing. You just simply have to save yourself. You have to, once you get over the initial guilt of putting yourself first, you'll understand why it was so important. Once you get over that initial guilt of living a life that makes you happy, you'll understand why it's important. For me, I had to leave a lot of relationships behind, if not all, in order to be at this place of peace, because I wasn't in the most supportive environment of me being myself. And I'm also very different from my family, extremely different, and I don't operate the way that they operate. And so I had to pull myself away from that, because then I would be drowning. I wouldn't be able to see my light anymore. I wouldn't be able to see what makes me special. But this came with a ton of inner work, and I'm not telling you that this is going to happen overnight, but I am telling you that it can be done. It's possible, because I am doing it, and it's tough. And what helps me also is journaling. Get those emotions out. You know, your emotions are valid during this time, and I just needed someone to tell me that it was okay. Sometimes you just need someone to tell you that that's normal. It's okay. Because we can be in such an inner battle with ourselves of what's normal, what's okay, what we should think, what we should feel. And sometimes we just need that okay, so we can relax and know that we can rest and not have to feel bad for a situation that already feels bad. So you have to break away from the old version of you, and this takes a process. And you can follow me on my Instagram. I'm not sure, it's gonna be somewhere on the screen. I post content on how you can do that. I go into depth about the steps on how to do that. And once you put actionable steps into place and you take it one step at a time, then you're set. And you trust in God. Whatever you believe in, trust and know that you'll get through this. So I encourage you to process where you're at, see where you're at, ask yourself, where do you want to go? Ask yourself, who do you want to be? And it's so mind-blowing to me that we can literally become who we want to be. And so it's like we're shedding and we're coming out of our shell and we're allowing ourselves to thrive. Doesn't that sound fun? Doesn't that sound so enjoying? Like, that sounds like pure joy and excitement to be able to break out of the shell and the prison that has confined us all these years. Yes, that sounds so refreshing and so light and so beautiful. I want all of that. I want all of that goodness. But just like life, there's death and rebirth, and death is really painful. Death can be really painful, so painful, and it's hard to even understand. I am in a grief support group, and I don't want to cry. In the grief support group, you just see everyone's story and how death affects us on such a profound level as humans. And while death is a natural part of life, it sure does not feel natural. And so being close to death, like with losing my mom, it's completely changed and altered the course of my life. I would not be here. You know, I wouldn't be this person if I had my mom, you know, here. So just like losing a job, it's not the same as losing a person, but just like losing a job, just like losing your old self, it's tough. And you gotta cry it out, grieve it out, you gotta let it out. That's the only way you're gonna release it, and that's the only way you're gonna prosper into your next season. Otherwise, you're just not gonna be able to, I strongly feel, maintain that frame of the new version of you. And the new version of you they're rooting for you. They want you to succeed. They want you to be here. They want you to get to your next version in your next life. They're waiting for you. So don't think that you're just out here and it's just like whatever. No, they're waiting for you. What you want wants you. And I'm learning that what I want wants me. And to not put myself in a mental prison, in a physical prison, whatever. And so I have this reoccurring dream all the time that happens. And it's not the same dream, but there's always a dream with me being either confined or in chains. And in my most recent dream, I let the person put the chains on me and then was panicking, trying to escape. And so what that meant to me was I had to ask myself, in what ways am I participating in my own imprisonment? In what ways have I been holding myself back on purpose, but maybe subconsciously or consciously, but mostly probably subconsciously? And it's been in ways of me living the life I want to live and be happy. It's been in ways where I want to explore and I'm not letting myself explore. So in what ways are you holding yourself back? In what ways are you not allowing this new version of yourself to be birthed out? She and he is waiting on you. They're so ready for you. So don't forget that. You have to let the old you die. Let her go, let him go, and fly off into this version of you that you never knew you could be. And it's not perfect. It's not a linear journey. It is a lifestyle change. And that's the biggest thing that I've had to learn, is that it's not supposed to always be ideal. Because I can think very idealistic and very practical. Sometimes life isn't practical. Sometimes life is supernatural. And if you allow more of magic and infinite possibilities to come into your world, it would balance out the practicality. It would balance out that ideal, you know? And it's a lifestyle change, and I'm rooting for you. I hope that this video helped you and given you some insight on your journey, as it has been for me. And who knows, if I build upon this topic, maybe I'll come out with a part 2 video or part 3 or whatever. Let me know in the comments what you think. Give me your insights on what season you are in, if you feel like sharing, and let us know any tips if you know something that could help on this topic. Okay, I love you guys so much. Like this video and share it to someone who needs to hear it today. You can also follow me on Instagram, like I said, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me like this. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.